having three guests who are going to give us information and the most recent updates on three different topics: education, science and technology, and also culture. Good afternoon, Ms. Dahrani Sabila Rashid as the Directorate of Education. Good afternoon, Ms. Afiati Nur Rahman as the Directorate of Science and Technology. And last but not least, we have Ms. Hasnanur Fadilah as the Directorate of Culture. First, we're going to discuss about education. Ms. Rashid, would you please tell us the most recent issues on the education field in ISESCO perspective?
We support the organization of a number of workshops on interfaith dialogue and integration of Muslim students in European University, to be held by CORES in cooperation with the Federation of Universities of the Islamic World and the International Organization for Migration. So this workshop will be held in the University of Milano, Rome, Venice, and Padova next May. In this workshop, we promoting Islamic cultural action, also the Islamic world, like spreading peace value, countering all forms of dilatory hatred and violence, strengthening Islamic identity in Europe in its relation with institution and the challenge of migration, and helping foreign students to integrate European university. And they also seek the contribute to setting the outlines and public policy to integrate students in European university according to the priorities and challenge under discussion.
Now we are going to watch an interview that we did with one of the Muslim students in University of Bologna.
Hello, I'm Raihan Indirazani from ISESCO News, and I'm here with one of the students in this university who moves in Islamist movement. So, what do you think about ISESCO? What do you know about ISESCO?
About ISESCO, right? ISESCO, I think it's great. One of the greatest international organization who run in Islamic thing in the world, and I think the ISESCO is very interesting thing, I think, about that.
So ISESCO is one of the international organizations that moves in Islamic movements. So as of now, there is a lot of achievement from ISESCO's objective. What do you think about these achievements for the last few years?
About the achievement of UNESCO by itself, I think, and I read some info and some news in internet that provides ISESCO is supporting not all, but maybe I think not all about the school, Islamic school in Indonesia, that I think after the things in school, Islamic school is unique. Why? Because the school in Islamic school in Indonesia make some rules that provide must make all of the students that have to stay in the school.
Okay. So what he's saying here is one of the objectives that all of the Islamic students are trying to stay in a boarding school, so that these students can learn about Islamic movement in ISESCO. So back to you, Irene.
Next, we are going to move to science and technology. Ms. Niroma, would you please tell us what is ISESCO event for the scientific field of the member states?
Okay, so ISESCO supported scientific research project by offering grants to 5 out of the 173 researchers who applied. And this support aims at encouraging significant, promising, and innovative scientific research works to achieve sustainable development goals, strengthening local research capacities, and curbing brain drain from member states towards industrially advanced countries.
What fields were ISESCO offered by these grants?
So the grants were offered in the following fields, such as nanotechnology, biological sciences, engineering sciences, frontier areas of science and technology, and also health biotechnology.
Okay, and how many researchers have benefited from these grants?
It is worth noting that 50 researchers from the Islamic world have benefited from these grants since their launch in 2008.
Thank you. Lastly, we are going to talk about culture, more specifically Islamic historical heritage. Ms. Fadilah, would you please tell us the most recent condition about the Islamic cultural heritage?
So the recent condition wasn't really good, but the awareness of the Islamic world to save the historic Islam culture is beginning to increase. The organization Islamic Cooperation itself made a resolution that recommended to establish the Supreme Council for Islamic International Education and Cultural Scientific Organization, or we usually call that ISESCO. ISESCO recognized the importance of protecting cultural identity of Muslims outside the Islamic world and the importance of building bridges of communication with the Muslim outside in Islamic world to help the contribute of community development and develop cultural action for Muslims outside the Islamic world.
Is there any attempts that ISESCO do to overcome this problem?
The Islamic World Heritage Committee was established because of growing challenge for Muslims, especially in Arab countries. These challenges include the destruction and looting of countries of cultural and civilizational heritage in Iraq and Afghanistan. In saving Islamic historical heritage, ISESCO identified historical, cultural, and religious monuments that were categorized as in danger. This identification is carried out using computerized technology. And then, after successfully identifying the historical heritage that must be protected, ISESCO will use the verify of ways to prevent it from being destroyed. One way is to publish through the mass media to invite all the parties to protect these objects in order to avoid destruction. Thus, the object can be used as cultural heritage by the future generation. To be sure, this ancient heritage does not belong to Muslims themselves, but also all the humanity. Thus, the need to every country, to every possible effort to save it from the destruction and looting, and also the judiciation was the duty of all those parties. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And now we're going to watch a video from the interview with one of our researchers, Mr. Naval El-Ghifari, on ISESCO's most recent work in saving Islamic heritage in countries where Muslims are a minority.
ISESCO also carries out a mission to save historical Islamic relics in countries that have a number of minority Muslims. This is so that Islamic identity in the country is not lost. Against this background, ISESCO pays special attention to Muslims living outside the Islamic world, be it migrant minorities, indigenous citizens, through several programs that include education, culture, science, and communication for Muslims outside the Islamic world. The Institute also contributes expertise programs, consultations, and qualifications, and conduct activities such as sending teachers, holding special training sessions and workshops, and publishing books, research that deals with important issues of Muslim migrants in accordance with the values of Islamic civilization.
Thank you for coming and give us a lot of information regarding ISESCO. I hope you all enjoyed today's news and see you in the next session. Bye bye.